Sabrina here from Scrappy Tails Crafts. Welcome back to my channel. Today we have a product showcase video for a new Scrappy Tails release. The collection is called Countdown to Christmas, so we are celebrating Christmas in August this year. I know that a lot of us like to carry our Christmas in July card making into August, and I'm very excited about this release. I did design and illustrate everything that you're going to see in today's video, and what's fun about this release is it's actually a sneak peek of our large Christmas collection that's going to be coming out in October. So everything you see in today's video coordinates with that collection. It's not like they're two completely separate Christmas releases. Everything is going to work together really nice. I have some samples behind me that I'm going to show you in today's video. There's a lot of dies. It was intended to be a mini release, but as I started designing, more ideas kind of came to mind and it morphed into a regular size launch, which I'm sure you guys are perfectly fine with. That just gives you more options to choose from. So I don't want to ramble for too long, but before I get started here, I want to mention that there are a couple giveaways. I'm going to be giving away a $50 gift card in today's video, and all you have to do to enter that is leave a comment down below letting me know what your favorite product is. I'm also going to throw in a $25 gift card somewhere in the video, so make sure you watch the entire thing so you don't miss out on that opportunity. We will have our stamp set giveaways over on Instagram next week, and next Friday, August 13th, we're going to have a inspiration hop. It's going to be a video and blog hop featuring the new release, so everything is going to be holiday related. It's going to be a lot of fun, and there will be giveaways associated with that as well. So there's quite a lot of products to get through, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, I am back, and it is currently raining here in Florida, of course. And I'm sure within a couple minutes it'll probably pass and it'll be bright and sunny again. But in the meantime, I hope you guys don't mind the sound of rain. I personally find it very calming. But there could also be thunder coming in and out, so I hope it's not too loud. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So I normally start a pop-up, or a showcase video with our pop-up die set for the collection. However, there is not one for this release. And the reason why is because, as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, the release that's going to be coming out in October coordinates with this one. So we always only had one pop-up because it started out as one humongous collection that we decided to break into two separate releases. So I thought, what made the most amount of sense would be to release our previous pop-up add-ons first. That way we can entirely focus on the new pop-up that's going to be coming out in October. And I'll tell you guys, that one really is a showstopper. I spent several hours in the craft room trying to figure out the measurements, how it folds flat. It's super unique. I think it's my favorite pop-up of the year. And a lot of products coming out in October kind of revolve around that. So the only products that were a bit out of place were the previous pop-up add-ons. And I wanted them to have their own moment as well because several of them are interactive. And I know that a lot of you have our pop-ups already in your stash, and you may want to start making holiday cards with them now. So that's what we decided to do. The other thing we decided to do is break up the two collections based on European country. So the general theme across both collections is a European Christmas. And if you've been around with us since the very beginning, we launched Scrappy Tails with a Christmas collection in October of last year. And within that release, there were two German style stamp sets that I illustrated. And at the time, I was hesitant about those two stamps because I knew I was primarily targeting an American customer base, and I hadn't released anything prior, so I just wasn't sure what the reaction would be like. Luckily, it paid off, and they sold just as well as my grandma's sets. And I think to this day, I don't get as many messages or emails regarding really any stamps other than those two sets because a lot of you hold a special place in your heart for Germany like I do. I am half German. My mom is German. I have all of that side of my family lives in Germany, and I haven't been there in over a decade, so I'm very antsy to get back. So I wanted to kind of continue from October and add on to those two stamp sets that I brought out. And had I had more time, had I had more money to kind of invest in a larger collection, I would have included a lot of the dies that you see in today's video in that release. So I'm just really excited and happy that I can finish off Germany the way that I kind of wanted to back in October. And now I have that reassurance that you guys actually love the concept of a German Christmas. So while I was kind of designing the German products, I thought it would be a good idea to include 2 new European countries, which we're gonna focus on in October. So today we're gonna finish off Germany. I did restock those 2 German stamp sets from October. They're called German Winter Village and Christmas Market if you wanna pick those up. A lot of the products in today's release coordinate specifically with those 2 sets. But like I said, we're gonna focus on 2 new countries in October. And if you guys can guess what those 2 countries are, down in the comment section, the first person that guesses, I will reward a $25 gift card to Scrappy Tails. I will be replying to comments, but I'm gonna give you some hints because I know there's a lot of European countries to choose from. So the first one focuses a lot on architecture. So think of buildings, monuments, very distinct buildings that you would instantly know which country they came from. And the second country focuses a lot on the pop-up Shadow Box book. So think of Christmas stories and kind of where they originate from, and you should be able to guess the 2 countries. Now, if I see you get one of the 2 countries right, I'll say you got this one right and you can keep guessing for the second, but whoever snags it first wins that $25 gift card. I thought that would be kind of fun. So, all right, with that being said, I know that was a long spiel. Despite there not being a pop-up, there are still several interactive die sets that coordinate with our previous pop-ups. So this first one is what I would consider to probably be the most popular one, the one that I kind of named the whole collection after, and I don't even know if I mentioned this or not, but the name of the collection is called Countdown to Christmas. And when I was thinking of German Christmas traditions, the first thing that came to mind were advent calendars. If you're not sure what they are, basically they're a calendar that you open every single day leading up to Christmas. I know that they have become very popular here in the United States. I see them in like every craft store, every home furnishing type store, especially in recent years. So I think that they have become a staple tradition in a lot of American households. But believe it or not, Germans invented them. And I have to give Germany credit. I'm gonna fangirl a little bit here. Because I had a lot to choose from when it comes to Germany. They invented so many Christmas traditions that we celebrate, including the entire concept of Santa Claus. So I could have went down numerous routes, but I went with advent calendars because I knew they would translate well here in the States. And personally, it was my favorite tradition growing up. And it's something that I plan on passing down to my children. And I thought it would work perfectly with the Slimline pop-up birdhouse. So that's what this die coordinates with. And I'm gonna pull in a card sample so that you can kind of see what this die does. You get 1 solid die that's gonna cut out all 24 doors. Now, traditional German advent calendars count down to Christmas Eve. I know some American ones count down to Christmas Day. Honestly, I went with whatever looked the best on the actual die set, and that was 24. So I do want to mention that this counts down to Christmas Eve, not Christmas Day. So let's kind of break down the set. You get the numbers 0 through 9 so that you can label the outside doors like I did here. You get 3 different doorknob options, some stars, hearts, and circles. So on this sample, I used the stars. And there's actually 6 doorknobs to 1 die, so you don't have to sit there and cut 24 teeny tiny doors. You'd only have to cut it 6, 12, 18, 24. 4 times. Yes, I had to use my hands. I had to count out loud. Don't come for me in the comments, please. And then you get 11 Christmas icons that I thought would be cute to kind of hide inside the calendar. Now you can see each door that I open has an icon behind it. And this is actually a stamp set that I'll show you guys a little bit later on. But instead of using the stamps, you can use these icons if you want. You can also add them to the inside of the door, to the outside. Lots of different things you can do here. So that is the Advent Calendar add-on. So this is called the Mini Pop-Up Box Die Set. I did mention that there's not a pop-up in this release. There technically is, and that's this set here. And it also coordinates with the Advent Calendar. So I'm going to pull in another card sample so that you guys can see what this does. You get several dies here. This one on the top right corner creates a 3/4 inch cube or box that can fit behind each individual door of the calendar. I'm not sure if you can see the boxes because they are white against a white background, but those are little boxes that I tucked inside. Oh no, my contents are spilling out here. That are inside the calendar. You can see the little boxes there, and the connector piece, which is this die here, covers the other boxes inside, so it just looks cleaner. It's also thinner than the pop-up birdhouse connector, so it works better with the boxes. It's the same width, so it just looks cleaner. So I used it on the one calendar where I added the boxes, and I also added it to this calendar that does not have any boxes. I just kind of like that clean edge all the way around. You don't see what's inside. So that's what this long piece is here. Like I said, this is the little cube, and I'll show you one cube that's not inside the box. So here it is all folded up. You get the lid to close it. Now for the calendars, I like to cut the lid off so that you can see what's inside the calendar, but you can keep it closed if you want, and then your recipient can open it. You can also cut the doors off the actual Advent calendar to show the cubes more. It's up to you, and I'll show you some different variations in some upcoming video tutorials. I forgot to mention that I do have a video tutorial going up for these two cards tomorrow, so you guys can see how these were made. But let's go ahead. You might be looking at this cube and thinking, what on earth can you fit inside there? It is so tiny, it's very cute, but you would be surprised what you can put inside these little boxes. So I already kind of started to fill my Advent calendar. Instead of doing numbers on the outside of the doors, I went with icon stamped images, and I'll show you those stamps next. Again, you can use the icons that are included in the die set if you want. But I love that these stamps are solid. So all you have to do is, ink them up with your favorite colored ink, which is what I did here. I decided to emboss mine. You don't have to. But that way it's very quick and easy. You can cut them all out at once, and you have all of your icons to decorate your calendar. So let's kind of go through each little door here. So the one at the top has a cute little bow, and I fit some money inside this one. I just had to really fold it in there to fit it. And this one has a Hershey Kiss, and your recipient can pull it out of the calendar. It's a tight squeeze, but again, you can put a whole Hershey Kiss inside each of the doors. I think that would be very cute. I plan on making a bunch of these for Thanksgiving and putting Hershey Kisses in mine. Now, that was kind of the first thing you might think of is money, chocolate. I also have M&Ms in this little cubby here, the little mini M&Ms. But then I was kind of thinking, we're crafters. The first thing we might think to do is write a message inside each of these little doors. So here I have just a simple little paper, and inside is a little message that says 21 days till Christmas. You can add, like encouragement sentiments like have a great day or good luck today, whatever you want. I thought that would be very cute. Then I thought, what if we gifted these to crafters? That would be kind of cute. So maybe you have those dies in your stash that you never use because they're included in a, one large die, and, they just added a little die in that you don't really use very often. I have quite a few of these. If I can get it out of the calendar. Let me see if I can pull it out with my scissors. There we go. But yeah, these little heart dies that are in like almost every die set. I thought it would be cute. You can put little dies inside the calendar. You can also cut with that die to add a message. So this says, "You're the best." And also, how about a little sequin pack? Do you ever have those sequins that are kind of just laying around and you just kind of group them all in one pile? That's kind of what I did in this pack. So I thought, you know, this is like a variety pack, very cute as a little gift. And to go along with that, let me see if I can find the door I put it in. Wouldn't it be cute just to fill the entire calendar with little sequins? So these are by, I believe, do I have them up here? These are like little clay confetti by Trinity Stamps. They have quite a few holiday sequins that would be adorable to put inside, and you could fit quite a few. I only filled it about halfway, and I used quite a bit of this. I would say about a quarter of the jar. So you can, you know, fill it in each of the holes. So you get 4 days worth of sequins from one of these packs. Thought that was a very cute idea. And do I have anything else here? What is in this one? So what do we have in here? Oh, okay. So that kind of goes along with the sequins. How about little gems? I think we all have these in our stash that we might not use very often. Another small little thing you can fit inside here. These are like sticky backed, so you would just peel them off. I also put little foam squares in the calendars, so I think these would be so darling to gift to your crafty friends. Everyone needs foam tape, right? Or foam dots. So that's a cute idea. And I'm sure you guys can think of a whole bunch of different things you can put inside. I can even fit my wedding ring in one of those. You can put maybe a pair of stud earrings. Like when I grew up, my parents always put chocolate in my calendars, and then maybe like once a week they would put like a $5 bill or a pair of earrings or something. So yeah, I think every once in a while you might put something that's a little bit bigger, like, you know, the cute little die. You can do some stickers, whatever. There's so many different things you can put inside, and it's just so dang cute. Now, this last die here is another box. It's rectangular in size. It's also 3/4 inches wide, so it's the same width as the cube. And I included this one, and here I'll show you how this looks. I haven't glued it shut yet, but once you do that, it's gonna look like this. And I wanted to include this because when I was researching advent calendars and kind of seeing how people displayed them in their homes, I noticed that quite a few people had mini countdowns right next to their advents. And I'm going to insert a picture so you can kind of understand what I'm saying, and I'm going to do it in a future video. But basically it's a little rectangular block, and on the block it says days until Christmas. And then on top of the block there are 2 dice. Let me see if I have another one. And the dice have numbers on them. So on December 1st, you would start with 25, so 25 days until Christmas. And then on December 2nd, you would flip the dice and say 24 days until Christmas. And just, again, count down the days leading up to Christmas. I thought that was very cute and also fit the theme of the collection, Countdown to Christmas. And so that's why I included this die here. Now, if you purchase this set, you're also going to get a 3x4 stamp. I don't have it with me at the moment. There was a delay on them, but they're coming in on Monday, and I'll insert a picture. It's a 3x4 sentiment set that has the days until Christmas along with every other holiday. You guys know that whenever we bring out a new pop-up, we want to make sure that it's a year-round product. So you can also count down to Halloween, Thanksgiving, fall, Valentine's Day, Easter. There's so many different holidays so that you can continue using this past Christmas. So I thought that would be very cute. I'm definitely going to be doing a countdown to Halloween. I am so excited for that. And you also get some icons included in that 3x4, but they represent each holiday. And I purposely made them all round to kind of represent a 0. So instead of doing 20 days until Easter, you can do a 2, and then you can have one dedicated dice that has all the icons stamped on it, and just flip the dice to whatever holidays. So for Easter, you would put the egg, and you can do, instead of 20 days until Easter, you can do the 2 and the little egg to represent the 0. So that's what those are for. I want to show you guys those stamps that I used. So on the outside of this calendar, I used the Christmas Icons 4x6 stamp set. I illustrated these, and I thought that they would be a piece of cake because they were solid. They're only about 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch big, but I drew every single one, and there's 25 on the stamp set. So I included one extra because it looked better on the stamp set. So if there's not one icon you don't really care for, you have one extra to choose from. But yeah, they're solid images, like I said, so you can emboss them like I did here. You can just ink them up. I wanted them to be quick and easy. I didn't want you guys to sit there and color teeny tiny images. I knew that these would be time-consuming projects, so I thought simpler the better. Let's make them solid. You also get some more numbers here, and these are stamps. So if you don't want to die cut every single number from the actual die set, you can just stamp them directly on the doors, and that would save you a lot of time. You also get a couple sentiments that I thought would be cute on the back of these calendars, which I did decorate the back. You guys know me. Hopefully I just don't want to drop all the little things in there. So I used the no peeking, Merry Christmas, and then that 25th icon I added right to the bottom there. You also get do not open until Christmas Eve. Super cute. Then we have the Nativity 4x6 stamp set, same thing, solid images, but these all represent a part of the Nativity story. I know that a lot of Advent calendars are gifted to children, so maybe this is a way you can teach them the Nativity story. So inside each of these doors, like I have the little camel. The first one I have baby Jesus in the manger. The last one I have a Bible. So they're all images, like I said, that represent the Nativity, and there's also just some general religious icons. So yeah, I went and gold heat embossed all of these. Very cute. And then you get the sentiments, Oh Holy Night, Silent Night, Good Tidings, Joy to the World, and Have a Blessed Christmas. And there are coordinating dies for all Scrappy Tails stamp sets. I just don't show them in the video because they're not like that interesting. So yeah, that's kind of everything that goes with the Advent calendars. Now you might be looking at these 2 cards and wondering where these roofs came from. So that is another die set. I'll go ahead and pull that one in. And here it is. This is called the Roof Bundle add-on. So this works really great with the Advent calendars, along with another Christmas house add-on we have, I'm about to show you. And you get 4 different roof options. This first one is just snow that you would layer on top of the roof that's included in the birdhouse die set. This one is this roof I added on the blue card, and then this straight across one I added on this red calendar. Then you get a more whimsical, like swirly one, and then you get the individual light bulbs that you can glue on top if you want to do a different color from the string. So that's what that set is. And what also coordinates well with this is the German house add-on. So after I was finished with the Advent calendars, I really wanted to give you guys the ability to create German style slimline pop-up cards. So I'll pull in another sample here of one that I created with this die set. Now what's fun about it is you get the little beams that make the house look German. So these little brown beams are very distinct in German architecture, but you also get everything else included to decorate a normal American style house. So let me pull in another sample and you can kind of compare the difference here. So if you're not into Germany, if you have no affiliation with Germany, I still wanted to give you guys, you know, an opportunity to decorate your neighborhood houses and make them festive. So this is a more American styled house. Now let's kind of break down this die set. You get a garland, which I added to this house. You get a wreath for the door, wreaths for the windows, several different bows that you can add to the Christmas trees or to the wreaths, a lantern, a tall one and a short one, which I added here and near the windows here. You get the beams that represent the German style house. You get the German style roof. German architecture, their roofs are very strange. They're kind of curved inwards, so I wanted to include that. You get some acorns if you want to decorate the wreath, some ornaments. You get a window and a solid door. So if you don't have the neighborhood house add-on, you can still create a full-on house without that die. Of course, the neighborhood house coordinates well with this, but you don't need it. I wanted to include a window and a door so that if you didn't have the neighborhood house, you can still decorate it as a Christmas neighborhood house. Yeah, that's everything you get. You get the potted tree, which I added to the side of the door. And again, you get the cutouts if you want to cut through your pop-up cards so that you can see what's inside. So behind the window on this card, I added that cute little Christmas tree. And then I also have the door open, so it has a score line to the left side. And that one reveals a sentiment that says home for the holidays. Very, very cute. Let me show you the more American style house. I added vellum behind these windows, and I added solid yellow to the back wall, so it looks like the house is glowing from inside, and the vellum just kind of mutes it so it's not bright yellow like this one. I didn't add it, so it's more softer, I guess. Here's another roof that I used from this bundle. The wreaths, the garland, and this little door also opens to reveal a cute little Christmas tree inside. Now, if you have the home furnishings stamp set, that would be so cute inside here. You can use the little fireplace, the couches. That would coordinate super well, and I might do a video on that in the future. All right, so I think that wraps up everything that coordinates with the Slimline pop-up birdhouse. And I do have a bundle price for this weekend only. If you want to pick up everything, I know the Slimline birdhouse is probably our most popular die set. So I wanted to do a bundle where you get the advent calendar, the mini pop-up box die set, the German house add-on, and the roof bundle. All right, so everything else I'm about to show you coordinates with the pop-up shadow box book or the vase or the pop-up boxes. They're all kind of standalone, but they were designed for the pop-ups. We do have one stamp set. This one is called the Layering Christmas Tree, and we've never done a layering stamp set before, and this took, I'm not kidding you guys, 23 hours to illustrate. It was kind of a challenge to figure out how everything lines up, but I'm so happy with how this turned out. And I do have a card sample I'll show you with the tree completely stamped out. I know it doesn't look like much in the stamp set here, but it is super detailed. It looks very lifelike, and it's just beautiful. You also get some layering presents, a bow and a star that you can add to the top of the tree. And you get the sentiments from our home to yours, which I added inside the door of that one house I just showed you. I'll be home for Christmas and home for the holidays. All right, so that's the last stamp set, actually. The rest are dies. So this next one here is a small one, but we kind of have a little bit of a nativity theme, so I thought it would be fun to use those same images in the stamp set and make them into a little die that's an ornament. So I thought this would be very cute for shaker cards. It's a really great size. It's about 3 inches, so it would be the focal point on an A2 card. And then you also get the Oh Holy Night sentiment. Next up, we have the A7 Garland cover plate, and I love this one. I loved creating this. The cover plates from the last release were really popular, and I love how they look inside the pop-up shadow box book cards. So I wanted to create one for Christmas. So this is a garland that wraps all the way around the shadow box, and inside are some ornaments, and I used these in a lot of card samples. They were so nice to have. This die, you get a lot of value. You get so many dies here. You get 2 ornaments, the ornament hangers, the poinsettia that you can layer on top of the poinsettia on this ornament. You get some berry sprigs, some little berries that you can add to the garland if you want, and then the little bows for the ornaments. So I'm gonna try to speed up a little bit here because I did ramble a lot for the advent calendar portion, but everything else is pretty self-explanatory, and we will get to the card samples so that you can see everything in action. All right, so this is the Christmas A7 pop-up book add-on. So I specifically designed this for the book. This long strip here is for the spine of the book, just to kind of add a decorative touch. The oval looks gorgeous on the A7 book. You can also use it, the smaller one, for an A2 book. Just very decorative and festive. It looks absolutely beautiful, cut from gold mirror or silver mirror cardstock. You also get some corner pieces, which I added to the inside of my Shadow Box books, and these cute little swirls just to add, you know, a nice little bit of detail to your Christmas cards. All right, here is the next one, and I already know, I can already tell you guys that this one's gonna be the most popular. I think everyone on the Scrappy Tails team picked up this die set, and I think it has a lot to do with the assorted leaves. That is by far our most popular die set, and I wanted to come out with an assorted Christmas leaves die set. So you get a ton of dies in here. This is all you need to create beautiful arrangements. You really don't need any other greenery. Everything is included in this set. So you get a large berry sprig branch, a couple different pine needles that are really pretty to tuck behind the ornaments or poinsettias. You get some pine cones, you get the detail layer and the shadow layer if you want to do 2 different types of brown cardstock. And then just some general like holly leaves, branches, little sticks, which you might not think are very useful, but they're so cute tucked behind flower arrangements. So I did order a lot of these, and I saw this morning that a lot of them have been accounted for. So if you like this one, I would grab it quickly, because I have been told that restocks could take 2 to 3 weeks. So yeah, this one is called the Assorted Christmas Leaves die set. And to go along with those assorted Christmas leaves, I knew I had to have poinsettias, right, so that these can be tucked behind. So I came up with the outline poinsettias, and you guys love the outline roses, the outline tulips, so I thought it would be fitting to include some poinsettias. You get the shadow layer along with the outline layer to add really pretty detail. Let me see if I have one made so I can show you guys. I have a whole bag of leftovers here. So here is a good example with the outline cut from blue mirror cardstock and then the shadow cut from light blue. So super detailed and very pretty. And that actually completes the standalone dies. Now we're moving on to hot foil plates, and I am so excited that the foil plates we released in Midsummer Night's Dream were a huge success. I was a little bit worried because I wasn't sure how many people actually have a foil machine, but it seems like a lot of you do, and you're loving hot foil plates, and so am I. So I'm so happy that I can continue releasing them. The first one we have here is the A2 Snow cover plate, or hot foil plate, should I say. So this is going to cover an A2 panel. They're just little dots. So I thought these would be cute for snow scenes as well as ornaments. Perhaps you have like a stencil of a tree silhouette and you want to add ornaments. You can do that with this foil plate. So I think this is going to be a versatile one that I'm going to use in a lot of cards. I'm definitely going to foil on acetate with this one and create some kind of winter shaker card. I think that will be really pretty. The next one we have here has coordinating dies. So we have been, I personally like to have coordinating dies with hot foil plates because it's very difficult for me to line up images on a card panel. I never do it straight. It always ends up crooked. So I know moving forward, a lot of our hot foil plates will have coordinating dies, and this one does because this is a sentiment set, and these are nice and large. These are great for A7 cards, and I'll show you the card samples where I'll read out, you know, what these actually say, but they're holiday sentiments. They're very decorative, and they are definitely the focal point on your cards. This is probably one of my favorite products in the release. They're just so pretty when they're foiled, guys. I can't wait to show you guys the samples. All right, and then we have the hot foil poinsettias. I just love these. These are, again, nice and large. So they're gonna fill up a vase or a basket or a pop-up very nicely. You only need a couple flowers, and you also get 2 leaves. And again, there are coordinating dies. All right, and then the last foil plate we have here, again, coordinates with the Shadow Box book. Now, these A7 products I'm showing you, like this one and the Garland plate, I did design them for the book, but you guys know that you can use them on regular flat A7 cards. And this one is, again, very stunning. You get a beautiful decorative frame to go around your book titles if you want. If you want to do a custom book title with the Old English hot foil letters inside this, that would be very pretty. You also get these decorative swirls that I just feel were festive and kind of added a really pretty shine to the background panels on some of my cards, and I'll show you guys that very, very soon because we are down to our incentive products. Let me see if I can find them. They kind of got buried. All right, so here are the incentives for this collection. Now, if you spend $75 or more, you're going to get the Countdown to Christmas 3x4 stamp set. And this one's really fun, and I thought would work really nicely with this whole mini countdown home decor piece. Then if you spend $150 or more, you will get this beautiful Merry Christmas ornament. I use this on quite a few samples, and a lot of people for Sneak Week asked me to include this one for purchase, which I am doing. Because it really is pretty, and it's much bigger than our normal incentive dies. That's why I pushed it to 150 instead of 125. But if you can't reach that mark, you can purchase this separately. And once they're sold out, both the stamp and the die, they will not be remanufactured. They are completely exclusive to this release. All right, so that wraps up the entire showcase. Now, for the fun part, let's go ahead and start showing the card samples. I have been working very long hours in the craft room making these card samples. I hope you guys really love them. I'm so happy. I don't even want to put these away. I just want them to decorate my craft room because they're all so shiny and glittery, and I just love the holidays. So let's start with, well, I showed you guys the advent calendar. I showed you the neighbor or the German Christmas house add-on. So everything else are featuring our other pop-up dies. Now, I think this is a great opportunity if you have been considering to buy a Scrappy Tails pop-up die. I think this is the best time to kind of figure out which one you want to go for. I'm going to be representing every single pop-up that we have released, and I'm sure one of them is going to resonate with you and fit your style of card making. I encourage you guys to just take that plunge, get a pop-up, and just try one and see how you like it. And then you can come back and see if you want another one. But I always say, you know, if you're new to the pop-up card making world, just find one that you really like, that you feel matches your style, and see how it goes. So I think this might give you guys some clarity to figure out which one to go for. So this one is the pop-up vase. I cut the panels from pattern paper. Here's that Merry Christmas incentive die. I cut the base from red glitter cardstock, and then I decorated, you know, the decorative pieces with gold mirror cardstock. Here are the outline poinsettias. I cut the shadow layers from solid red and the outlines from gold mirror. And because it's a vase, it is completely 360. So as I turn it, there are some more poinsettias that are being shown. I love the vase because no matter what angle you look at it, there's something to see. Very, very pretty. This one also has a couple of the assorted leaves tucked in throughout. That assorted leaves die set I use the most just because they're perfect to tuck behind things. They're also really great on their own. In fact, I created a mini vase. Let me see if I can find it. Where I just feature that berry branch included in that die set. Isn't that just beautiful? I used the berries from the A7 Garland plate to paper piece those little berries on top of the branch. And it was definitely worth the time because this is like the only thing inside the vase. And I thought this would also be a very cute table setting. I wrapped the whole vase around with twine. So this one's very rustic. There's some smaller branches in the front and in the back, also included in that assorted leaves die set. All right, let's show a book. So here is an A7. So all of my books today are A7 size because these products are larger. They work perfectly for A7 cards, and I know that they have become quite popular recently, and I am so excited about that. I love slimline cards and A7 cards because there's more surface area to play. So just know that all the books I'm showing you today are A7 sized. And this book cover was created with the old English hot foil letters that came out in the last release. I also die cut a decorative frame that's included in the A7 pop-up box. I accented with some pearls. And then on the inside, isn't this just so stunning? In case you're new to the book, you can see that the sides look like pages of the book. So it does fold flat, not flat enough to be mailed in a regular envelope. You would definitely have to mail these in a bubble mailer, but they're just so gorgeous. Look at that dimension inside the book. So I kept the left side plain if you want to write a message here. Then this side features that Nativity ornament, which I cut from gold mirror cardstock. I backed it with craft. And then I also framed it in with that A7 Christmas pop-up book add-on die that includes these beautiful corner pieces. You also get the shadow layer, which I die cut from cream cardstock. And then just to finish it off, I added a couple of those assorted Christmas leaves throughout. I didn't add very many because this is such a beautiful ornament. I didn't want to add anything too distracting. And then of course, I am an overachiever. I decorate the back of my books and the spine. Like I said, that long piece in that pop-up book add-on has that long strip, which is meant for the spine of your books. All right, let's show another pop-up. And this one is probably our most popular pop-up box, the A7 size. I love this one because it's square and you can really make it tall and it will still fit in an A7 envelope. So this is a different color scheme. I went with blues. You can see I had this leftover flower that I showed earlier from this card, or not this one, another one I'm going to show you, but same thing. I used the outline poinsettias and I offset the outlines and the shadow layers. So some of the shadows are white, some are blue, some of the outlines are white, and some are light blue. I just kind of scattered them throughout to add interest. The mosaic that you see all around the card is included in the A7 pop-up box die set, so you don't need pattern paper to make really gorgeous cards. Now, there's that Merry Christmas ornament, and you guys might be saying, wow, I'm using a lot of specialty cardstock. Yes, I am. I don't really use specialty cardstock anytime other than gold and silver maybe, but I don't use it a whole lot other than for Christmas. So I kind of go all out for Christmas with the specialty cardstock. It really just makes your cards look so gorgeous. All right, so let's show another book because I did make quite a few of those. These are so addicting to make, by the way. They're very time consuming because you have to decorate the front and the inside, but they're so fun. So again, this features the A7 Christmas Pop-Up Shadow Box book add-on. This is just the outer oval. You do get the shadow layer and the decorative layer. So you get everything basically. You don't have to cut a shadow layer yourself. So you can see there's acetate. You guys know me. I decorated the front with a couple gold pearls, and this is see-through. So you can see the tree from the outside, but it's also in the inside. Isn't that just so pretty? I think this is also kind of masculine. I think this would be a great Christmas card to gift to a man. And this is the layering tree stamp set that I showed you. Lots of details. There's 4 layers to that tree, so it's very lifelike. I included some more ovals from that die set to back behind my tree. I also added it to the left side, and then again this large decorative frame is included in the book die set. Of course, I added the spine. I just love that. Now when you add it to a shelf, it really looks like a book to me. All right, how about a basket? And this one, I feel if you switched out the poinsettias for roses, this would be a gorgeous wedding card. But I like to try to go with different color schemes for Christmas. I love to create winter cards with the blue and the silver, along with the red and the green. So I love that this is all white and silver, featuring the outline poinsettias. You can tell I had a lot of fun with those poinsettias. They just look good on really any card. Again, another 360 pop-up, so you see it at every angle. I decorated the bottom with some pattern paper, and then I silver heat embossed a sentiment from my stash. And then it just folds upright on your table. I also created some slimline pop-up boxes. So this one features those ornaments from the A7 Garland cover plate. Throughout the box, I added some outline poinsettias along with some assorted Christmas leaves to fill in that little scene. I did use some more specialty cardstock, very pretty. I love that shine. This Merry Christmas is included in that incentive die set. I just added it to the front flap along with 2 smaller poinsettias from the A7 Garland cover plate. And again, this one folds flat for mailing. I created a Slimline Shadow Box, which is another fan favorite. This one folds this way and fits inside a number 10 size business envelope. This one also fits in a number 10 business envelope. So this is red, green, and silver, one of my favorite Christmas combinations. This is the color scheme I went with for my wedding. Yes, I had a Christmas themed wedding. Isn't that hilarious? This one features the hot foil poinsettias, and it's just kind of hard to see on camera, but the foiling is gorgeous. It beats any mirror cardstock I have in my stash. I mean, it's just incredible. I love that shine. I also added some A7 Garland plate ornaments throughout, and then I created my own ornament using a sentiment from the layering tree stamp set, and I added it to the front of the shadow box. I do have to go back and add some acetate behind this. I always do that at the end for some reason, but I even decorated the back of this one. I had one ornament left. I figured, why not just add it to the back? Okay, so speaking of those hot foil poinsettias, here is another A7 box. This one I used pattern paper on the bottom and solid green cardstock at the top. Again, the hot foil is a little bit hard to see on camera. This one features the hot foil sentiments, and here this one says, wishing you a Merry Christmas filled with love, joy, and laughter. Isn't that just such a pretty sentiment for the holidays? Then there's some assorted Christmas leaves. I use that on almost every card. And then here it folds flat and pops up. Beautiful shine. It's just not the same as embossing. It's so much better. Now that I emboss, I like see the difference, and I just love foiling. We have, I think this is, no, this is one of the last ones. This is my other Shadow Box Slimline card. This one I did vertical. I've never done a vertical Slimline card before, or Shadow Box card. And this one, again, features those foiled sentiments, the outline poinsettias. I went with blue and white this time. I love that combination for winter cards. And this one says, sending the warmest of wishes from our home to yours. So this is not specifically a Christmas sentiment, so this would definitely work for the entire winter season. This one folds upwards. Again, I have to add acetate. And there's also the Garland cover plate going around the entire scene here. That's glued to the back of the frame. This one's one of my favorites. I love how this one turned out. I think I have one more book to show you. Oh, two more books. Can you tell I've been busy? I've been working like 12-hour days because I've been having so much fun making these. So again, here is that another foiled sentiment. I just love how it's nice and large. This is an A7 card, and you can see it carries a card very nicely. And then I used another ornament from the A7 Garland plate. The decorative frame all the way around and the swirls are from the pop-up book foil add-on die. Then the inside, some more sparkle. We have another sentiment on this side. So I think I used all the sentiments. Yeah, this one says, wishing you a Merry Christmas filled with love, joy, and laughter. I showed this one already. Some more swirls that I directly foiled on the pattern paper. And then here are some more of those A7 Garland cover or ornaments along with the cover plate this time. I actually cut the Garland cover plate and glued it behind this solid green frame. So you can glue it on top of your shadow boxes, or you can glue it inside the shadow box to get a different look. I love how that Garland plate just frames everything in. Here is the last book, and again, white and silver, one of my favorite combinations. This one, I used the outline poinsettias. I cut the outlines from white cardstock and the shadow layers from vellum. So you can kind of see through them and see that music note print. I did add some silver pearls to the centers of these. And then this one features the ovals from the pop-up Shadow Box book die set Christmas edition. Some of these have very long titles, guys. And then I used another sentiment from my stash and silver heat embossed it. Inside, we have another decorative oval to write a message with the poinsettia. And then, oh my gosh, here's another A7 Garland cover plate cut from silver, and this time I glued it on top of the shadow box. So it's a bit of a different look. There's that Merry Christmas incentive die. Again, it is available for separate purchase if you want to pick up that one. And then some more of those vellum poinsettias. Absolutely beautiful. So that wraps up the showcase. Remember to enter the giveaway. All you have to do is leave a comment down below letting me know what your favorite product is. And yeah, I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. Happy shopping. And I'll see you tomorrow for the Advent calendar tutorial. Bye, everyone.